Mortal Kombat 1 is dead. Bury it. That's right, I don't think any more updates are coming for this game. No more balance patches, just invasions mode, everybody's favorite. Yeah, so for me, that's a dead game. There's a reason I'm rocking the Beetlejuice shirt, alright? Represent the dead. I know that term gets tossed around a lot, and technically a dead game means that nobody is playing it. However, there's a second definition that's less popular, which means the game is done being supported by developers. In other words, I think NetherRealm is done with Mortal Kombat 1. It's been over 3 months since the last update, and according to my recent poll, most of you agree the game is most likely done for. So today, let's say our goodbyes with one final tier list and pray the next game is better. Whether it's Injustice 3 or another Mortal Kombat game, I just want the baby to be healthy, alright? So leave a like down below if you agree and want the next NetherRealm game to be great. If today's video gets 2,000 likes, then the next game is guaranteed to be a success. And also comment down below what your thoughts are about Mortal Kombat 1. Do you think the game is dead, or is there one more update coming? Because obviously that's what I want. I'm one of the few people who enjoys Mortal Kombat 1, but obviously it's not looking good. For anyone new to this channel, I'm trying to reach 500,000 subscribers before 2026, so let's do it together. If you enjoyed today's video, smash that red button, ring that bell, and without any further ado, let's begin. Alright everyone, here is today's tier list. I'm gonna make some slight changes here and there, but after speaking with top players and some casual players, even some pro players, they agree this tier list makes the most sense. So just keep that in mind. If you argue with me and don't like this tier list, you're also arguing with top players and pros. Alright, so I'm just saying, this tier list in front of you right now is what they agree on, but I'm gonna make some subtle changes here and there. I gotta go with my gut, alright? It's just how I feel. First up, we have the top 10. Cyrax and Homelander are often cited as the best character in the game, depending on who you ask. I've noticed that Europe thinks Homelander is better for the most part. I'm not sure why that is, but here we are, right? Americans agree Cyrax is the best, but in England and other parts of Europe, people think that Homelander's the best. Then we have Scorpion, who Mountain Dew Joker thought should be behind Ermac, but if I'm being honest, Scorpion does so well at tournaments, and I don't see much counterplay to him. Or in other words, when a good Scorpion player starts doing their thing, you just kinda have to follow their rhythm and beat them at their own game. You can't make your own game and force them to play with you. It doesn't work that way. Then we have Sindel, who got nerfed a little bit when Trimmer got nerfed because that was her go-to guy, but she's still a fantastic character even with Kung Lao and other partners. General Shao is an interesting development. He started this game being mid-tier, maybe upper mid-tier, because the guy was fast with a great anti-air too, and his health is big. Combined with the right cameo, he's the hardest character in the game to beat. When it comes to his life bar, I mean, it takes more combos and damage to kill this guy than anybody else by a good amount. Then we have Ermac, easily the best rushdown character in the game, but he's not that good from a distance. And also with the right tools or even a good cameo, you can interrupt his pressure pretty safely. So his rushdown has some gaps, but you've got to be very skilled and practice fighting him to understand that. Then we have Johnny Cage. What needs to be said? Fastest mid in the game by far. His shadow kick is great. Both of his throws lead to full combos with Chameleon. The guy's terrifying. Not to mention his parries, his fatal blow, all that stuff. Johnny Cage is just not the best at anything anymore, but he's so solid and rounded. Then we have Reiko. What an underdog story. This man went from below mid-tier to top 10. Like, how did that happen? I'll tell you how, by flipping his playstyle. The man's a rushdown grappler now, which is what he always should have been in my opinion. But the issue is NetherRealm gave him this godlike projectile, so everyone just ran away and threw projectiles low tier god style. But that fireball got nerfed, he got new throws, all that incredible stuff. Trimmer made him way better up close too, so now finally Reiko is a monster, and that's good. Then we have Melina, one of my favorite characters. When combined with Madame Bo or Kung Lao, she becomes a nightmare. Crazy high combo damage, I think number 2 in the entire game, and her rushdown is great on top of that. Then finally we have Havoc, who used to be number 1, then he was top 3, now he's all the way at the end of top 10, so still a great character, but did get nerfed quite a bit. He's got less mix-ups now, and some of them can be punished, whereas before they were like completely safe. Okay, so now's the part where I move people around. I think maybe Sindel goes here, and that might be about it. Maybe Johnny Cage back here, maybe Havoc in front of Melina. In my heart of hearts, I don't think Melina's that great, but maybe she is. Yeah, I like this order better, I really do. Time for row number 2, the great tier. These characters are still phenomenal, they're just not top 10. Noob Saibot can do pretty much anything. He's dangerous from any distance, best teleport in the game, my honest opinion. Both low and overhead combo starters, fantastic stuff. Kitana is an interesting character because she started off being mid or top tier depending on who you asked, but for whatever reason pros just weren't using her. Now they finally are accepting that she's a great character and actually using her, so we get to see her finally shine at tournaments, and that's awesome. Garrus is such a sleeper hit. This man went went from bottom tier, one of the worst characters, to in the great tier. This man is like top 15 now, which is crazy. And it can't be denied. You can't argue this guy's good because multiple pros used him at the biggest tournament and got the top 16 or like top 8 with him. That's crazy. Garrus is good now. Like, you can't even argue it. No, he is good. But then we have Ghostface. This guy is weird. Along with T1000, both of them have similar strengths and weaknesses. The mix-ups just don't stop. Command grab full combo, low full combo, overhead full combo, all that crazy stuff. But Ghostface is deadly from every distance, even full screen, so in my opinion, he's barely better than T1000. Though with that said, once T1000 gets in, he's an absolute nightmare. Then we have Liu Kang, and you know what? I'm gonna put him like back here or something. I think Liu Kang is good, but he excels at nothing, which is completely fine. Keep in mind, all of these characters, except for the bottom row, can win for you, okay? No excuses. All of them are good, or at least decent, including Liu Kang. He's fantastic. I just can't think of anything he does better than other characters. He's a big jack of all trades. Next up, we have Sector, who is similar, although she's way better at running away and pressuring up close with the jetpack cancels. I think this character is better than people realize. If it was just me, I'd put her way up here. But like mentioned earlier, I spoke with a bunch of people, including competitors and pro players. They told me that Sector is more likely to be around here. Then we have Kenshi, who started off being fantastic, number 1 in the game. Nobody would argue that. Then he was just like top 5, top 10. Now he's comfortably in the middle, which is funny considering he got new moves. The issue is he was nerfed before getting those moves. Then we have Rain, and I'll be honest with you, Rain could be all the way up here. Someone could tell me that, and I would agree with them. I would not argue. Because Rain's one of those characters who can do absolutely everything, even stuff that people never try because his toolkit is just that big. For example, I barely see Portal play with this guy, and it's one of his best moves, but everything else he does is also really good, so you don't see very much Portal nonsense, but Rain has crazy moves that never get used. So with that said, I don't know, Rain might still have crazy potential. Then we have Natara. I'll be honest, she's going back here, because she's a rushdown only character with no teleports. Her wake up sucks too. If you knock her down and can pressure from a distance, she has to deal with it and block on wake up. There's nothing else she can do to counter that. And yeah, honestly, any character that can zone her out or put a wall that she can't get through, like Sub-Zero's Ice Clone, she struggles against. Let's just keep it real. Natara has some really bad matchups. Now don't get it twisted, her combo damage is incredible. Her mobility is really good. She's got tons of safe options to start combos that are really good. Natara's not lacking by any means, but I just think she's behind Sub-Zero and Reptile. I really do. Because these two characters can play anybody's game. They can rush down, they can zone, good wake-ups, good mix-ups, and with the right cameos, they become monstrous. I think Sub-Zero would honestly be up further, but people will jump down my throat if I say that. Sub-Zero's at tournaments though, like all over tournaments, so he must be better than mid. He must be. Is that crazy to say? Because it feels normal to me. If Sub-Zero is seen at tournaments more often than all these characters, then wouldn't it be reasonable to say that he's better than them? I don't know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm taking crazy pills. Reptile is one of those characters you almost never see at tournaments, even though he's good. Maybe not great, but he can zone, he can counter zone, he can mix you up, he can go invisible and then mix you up, right? This guy's not bad. Maybe he just needs more health, and yes, he's got too many gaps in his strings, I understand that, but man, Reptile feels really good on paper. He just does. Alright, time for row number 3, Conan. Crazy combo damage, ridiculously bad range, and he's slower than people think. Some pros consider him really slow, but once he lands that hit, it's like 80% damage with Chujinko. It's crazy, which honestly makes perfect sense for Conan the Barbarian, right? He hits hard, but he's not very smart. He's a simple man with a simple game plan. Then we have Ashura, who honestly, I want to put in front of Conan. I just do. She can do everything in this game. Jack of all trades, but master of none. Similar to Liu Kang, but just worse at everything. I don't know. The more I think about it, Ashura should be like right behind Liu Kang, because with the right cameo, she's a monster. Comboing off throws, lows, overheads. She's safe on a lot of stuff. Decent mid. Man, I must be missing something about Ashura that makes her so low on the tier list. Then we have Li Mei, one of the fastest characters in the game, but she has T-Rex syndrome. Her combo damage is good, but the issue is she has to get in. So basically, imagine Natara, but without the flight. That's Li Mei. Great combo damage, good pressure once she's in too, but she has to get in, and you can keep her out. Then we have Kung Lao. This guy got new moves and a lot of other stuff. I think Kung Lao might be in front of Conan. I mean, is that crazy to say? I feel like we see Kung Lao a decent amount. Yeah, you know what? I'm putting him right there. Kung Lao is one of those characters who's downplayed quite a lot. He's not fantastic, fantastic, but he's not bad either. And anyone telling you otherwise is just coping. Baraka, this guy I thought was bottom tier, but apparently no, he's been seen more often lately. But no, he's become more common at tournaments ever since people learned he counters certain characters like Cyrax. Yeah, that's right, Baraka, despite being a lower tier character, can counter some of the top 10 characters thanks to his arm blades and just unique tools. The guy's got great hitboxes and moves quickly, so that's his big advantage. Then we have Smoke, so this guy is very easy to beat once you learn his weaknesses. That's the issue. Against the average casual player, he's a nightmare with really good tools, but at the tournament scene, he's way too predictable. And also reactable, which is an even bigger issue. Then we have Omni-Man, so with the right partner like Jax and other gimmick cameos, he can be annoying to deal with, but he needs that special cameo partner, otherwise he's super lacking. And I think that's the issue. At this point in time for Mortal Kombat 1, all the characters in front of him, especially rows 1 and 2, they're complete characters by themselves and cameos make them better, but for Omni-Man and basically everyone in rows 3 and 4, they need the cameos to become complete characters, right? To become real threats. Then we have Takeda. The guy's just slow. That's his real weakness, and his gameplay requires more thinking than other characters, and with tag fighters that have 4 characters on screen non-stop, being slow and having to think too much is a big weakness. Still not a bad character though. Nobody on this tier list is bad. No bad characters right now in Mortal Kombat 1. They can all get the job done. But alright, time for the final row. These characters I think need some buffs. First up is Raiden. With the right cameo, this guy's much better, but he still kind of needs some tools. NetherRealm gave him a new move that I thought was super cool, then turns out it goes away on block. Yeah, if you make him block a move, the attack goes away, his little hypercharge thing, which is just so unfortunate and short-sighted on NetherRealm's part. Why'd you do that? It was a brand new move, but if you barely pressure him, it goes away? What? His overhead does not combo most of the time, so only low attacks and other basic hit confirms. Give the guy something. Alright, Quan Chi. So in the hands of a skilled player, I hate this man. He's like top 15 or top 10 in my honest opinion. I hate Quan Chi. I hate fighting him, but that's a me issue, right? If you study the matchup and just pressure this guy, he can't get his portal nonsense going and becomes super weak. Not to mention certain characters who attack really fast like Melina can break his armor outright, so that's one more thing. Shang Tsung, this character, I want him to be good because he's such a homework character. Massive move list, his attacks change based on the opponent, and also the cameo the opponent's using, which is cool too. If you really study Shang Tsung, he's such an interesting and deep character, but it's just too much homework, I suppose. You have to constantly flip-flop between old and young Shang Tsung to play him effectively and also memorize all the different matchups. It's just too much work to make him a top tier character, but he's not bad. In fact, I did see Shang Tsung at some tournaments, so he's not terrible. Then we have Peacemaker. Man, this guy's interesting. So with the right cameo, like Jax, he becomes such a gimmick and so hard to deal with. I'm talking teleport combos. That's right, he can go off screen, track you, Jax ground pounds from behind, you can't escape it, and then he combos with Eagly. It's so crazy. Now with that said, it's a gimmick, so against the right opponent, it doesn't work as effectively. They'll find ways to stop you from setting that up, and thus Peacemaker becomes not as good. Still a solid character at casual play. Then finally, last and possibly least, we have Tanya, but I'm not sure. With the right cameo, I think Tanya can be a monster. She does work harder than everyone else, but Cameo Scorpion, for example, is a good partner. You combo off her low. I think her throw might combo too, and with her regular combo starters, she's getting 38-43% damage with one bar. It's pretty good. So in other words, even the worst character in Mortal Kombat 1 is still good. I kind of want to move her up in front of Peacemaker. I don't know. The issue is Tanya has no gimmicks. She's an honest character in a dishonest game. She's playing it straight, with nothing confusing, a straightforward matchup against her, but if she touches you, she gets good damage. Yeah, I don't know. Tanya's one of those funny characters who snowballs on you. Once she gets all the ancestral buffs on, she becomes decent. But maybe she's just too honest in this game, so she is the worst character. And alright everyone, there you have it, the last tier list for Mortal Kombat 1, unless the game gets an update, but I don't think it's coming. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Who would you move around? Keep it civil, but let me know your opinions. Then before you leave, make sure to leave a like so the next NetherRealm game is great. Whether it's Injustice 3 or another Mortal Kombat, leave a like so that it's good. Let's try and get 2,000 likes on today's video. Then for anyone new, finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future content. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.